Would you run if you knew all the things I put you through? And would you cry if I left you for all the things that I pursue? Would you fly, 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 fly? Would you fly? Would you fly, 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 fly? Would you fly?
So, I have a new EP out. Whoop. I'm really excited about it. I feel like there's a lot of my sort of personality comes through in this EP. It's fun. The whole EP has a general meaning of go get what you want. It's all about getting out there and doing everything yourself. People who've seen me live before know that I tend to, about halfway through, have a small 30-second rant about how I think that everybody should do what they love. And I really do believe that, because I think if you do a job you love, you'll be more successful and you'll be happier, and that's kind of what my whole EP is about, really. I think it is slightly less commercial, but it's definitely more me. I spent a lot of time in the Caribbean as a child, like growing up, and my first ever music, for example, was my first sort of live music that I ever saw was all reggae. So you can hear hints of reggae coming through. We've got some keys in there. It's really fun. So that's cool. And also the meaning, I think, is the whole meaning of the EP is very much, the last EP I wrote some love songs, and there's a lot about girls, and that's the last 18 months. That's not what my life's been about, or the last, well, I've tried, but no, it's been about, I've just been focusing on like work and myself. I've been selfish basically, but the music is about, it's upbeat, it's like, yes, let's go out there, let's get it and see what happens. So fingers crossed it will travel. I take inspiration from all sorts of things, artists. I listen to anything from jazz right the way through to real rock and roll. I love John Butler Trio is my favorite artist. But at the same time, I take live inspiration from like Michael Jackson, Prince, James Brown. They all have such this amazing stage presence, and obviously that's like, I think if you want to be brilliant, and if you want to be the best, you just got to bring it live. And I think that's why, I spend time watching them on YouTube, and I just love watching their live shows because they absolutely own the stage, and that's cool. So I do aspire to be like them. So the songwriting process is pretty, it's pretty random, to be honest. Like it comes when it comes. That sounds ridiculous, but it's, I could go in the studio every single day and write different songs, but the ones that you really have like meaning to, they tend to come off the back of something that happens, because that's when you get good lyrics. Ultimately you have to like really engage your brain, and your brain only comes up with, I think, more meaningful lyrics when you really, really, really feel strongly about it. Whether that's like a happy song or a sad song, or God knows what, like a rant song or an angry song. You just need to have the passion in it. So it's pretty straightforward. I usually just come up with some chords, or a riff or something like that, and then eventually I get a vocal melody which I top line on that. It's quite straightforward actually. So I've worked with lots of different producers. I think it's obviously hugely important, because otherwise nothing would ever get recorded for a start. But a producer always adds, it's more fun because they add their input. Producers are creative, and they add things that that I wouldn't necessarily add, or they've seen it all and they know instruments basically. So it's cool because you can write a song and 6 months later say to a producer, oh my god, I've come up with an idea, let's put some steel drums on it, and suddenly it has a reggae sound. And it's amazing how like the production process can change a song from going, you can go for a really clean, tight, sparkly production and have a really classic pop song, or you can go backwards and strip it all out and do some weird vocal effects and harmonies and things like that. I love harmonies. Harmonies are the bomb. My dream was to work with will.i.am, just because I think he's so cool. And I would just kill to have, like, I don't know, a day in the studio with will.i.am would just be awesome. I think that he's a gifted producer, and you know, I'm so intrigued to. I'd love to see how he works. I think I've been told that we're quite similar. I think we both obviously slightly live on a different planet to everyone else, but I think that's a good thing. It's cool. So yeah, will.i.am would be my person I'd most like to work with. I would absolutely kill to have a bigger band. If I could afford on my tour to have a full band, I would have a brass section in it. So a trombone, a saxophone, and a trumpet. And I would have a double bass player, and I'd have a violinist. And a choir. That's a bit Sam Smith, isn't it? Yeah, I actually love Sam Smith, but I don't need the choir. Being on tour is my favourite thing in the world. Partly because of the team that I take, and I have a really close relationship with my band, and we all just, you know, it's just like going on holiday with your mates, but you get to sing every night, so it's wicked. And just I don't know what it is, but funny stuff happens because we're always in a weird place. We're always in a weird city. We don't know anyone. It's just really, really, you know, anything can happen on tour. I had someone faint on me in a meet and greet. She literally just, I said, "Hi, how are you?" And she just went, "Kunk." And that was the first time I've ever had to deal with that. So yeah, that was good. Not good. She was okay though. Coming from the television background, I think musically people are always a bit sort of like, "Oh, is he actually going to be able to? Is this his writing?" But ultimately, I think people, you know, that's why I like playing live shows with my band, is because I do feel that I can sell it face to face as opposed to, you know, someone hearing about it online. But so far, the feedback that I've had has just been awesome, and so I'm pursuing it, and I want to grow it, and ultimately, I just love it. I just love it. So if I was told today that I had to go and be in a recording studio every day for the rest of my life, I think I would jump up and down with happiness. So that is why I'm going to keep doing it.